Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some real life and real small business productivity tips with you guys today. And I know you might think productivity sounds boring, but I promise you guys that these are some tips that truly have helped my husband and I run a successful small business from home, and tips that actually work. I know that burnout, stress, mental overload, all the things are real life things that people struggle with. It's something I personally have struggled with and worked very hard the last couple of years to just get better with my productivity. So I'm going to be sharing those tips with you guys today. So if you are busy all day but you still feel behind, then this video is for you. Productivity isn't about working harder, it's about designing your business so that it's easier to run. So one thing that people do not talk about enough is that the productivity starts with your products. So if your products feel confusing, then most likely your customers are confused, and then it's going to lead to chaos. Good SEO, clear photos, and super detailed descriptions truly help convert to sales, because you're not having those back and forth messages between customers, confusion, all the chaos. It just prompts people to buy. And I have found that if somebody does not have all of the information that they need from just looking at your photos and reading your description, they're either going to walk away to somebody else and find a different shop, or they're going to message you, and then you're going to have to stop your work day, and it reduces your productivity. So basically, in short, if your customer is confident and everything's clear, then they're more likely to buy, which reduces, the back and forth that you are trying to avoid so that you can stay productive and not have your work day be interrupted. Another big one is keeping your products simple. You don't want to have 1,000,001 different font choices and 30,000 colors to choose from, because if you do that, it's going to cause decision fatigue for your customers, and decision fatigue just makes people feel chaotic. It makes your shop feel chaotic, and in turn, it will be chaotic for you as well as the person that is running the business. You're going to have so many different choices, so many different things that you can go back and forth with customers about. So keeping it simple, maybe a good handful of fonts, colors, things for them to choose from, it definitely is a good thing to do. So pricing, it is something also important to keep in mind. You don't want all customers. You want to price according to your labor, not according to just getting more sales. Because trust me, too many sales sometimes cannot be a good thing if you're undercharging for what your product is worth. So make sure you're kind of in a good middle ground, and you're not charging too little, you're not charging too much. And you can always alter your pricing based off of how busy you are as well. If you are really busy and your products are in high demand, then you can slightly increase your prices. And if you're at a season where you're okay to price a little bit less, that's fine as well. But don't undercharge yourself, because if you do that, you're going to end up with more orders than you need, and you're going to attract not always the best type of customers. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to talk about automation. So automation actually completely changed the game for my business. It changed my mindset about my business. It just truly gave me a healthy relationship with my business, and I'll explain why. So a couple of years ago, I almost quit my business. I almost walked away from the product selling because I got so overwhelmed. I knew that something had to change. It was too much. So I was at a point where I was getting such a heavy amount of orders, and I was juggling way too many balls that it felt overwhelming to me, and I didn't know how to handle it. And the answer was automation and systems, which we'll get into next. But I had to change something. I knew something had to change. So if you're explaining the same thing over and over again, or you're doing the same thing over and over again, and it is taking up a lot of your time, it's a sign that it probably needs to be automated. And I do want to point out, automation is not a lazy way out. It is strategic, and it is needed when you're running a business. Some examples of automation might be mock-up tools, save auto replies, abandoned cart emails, a good FAQ section. It can be different for every type of business, but basically you're going to look for something that can save you time. And something that really worked for me was like setting up templates for replies. Like if somebody's asking you a question over and over again, even though you put it in your description, but maybe they're missing it or not reading it, it can be like templates for messages. It can be mock-up tools that have all of your fonts in one place that your customers can browse through and type in their choices and browse colors. You just need to find a way to reduce that fatigue fatigue that you're having. Like, for example, for me, I was spending over 2 hours a day just responding to messages and sending people mock-ups by hand. So what I started to do was look into different like mock-up tools and automatic things that people could do on their own so they didn't have to wait for me. And that cut out literally 2 hours a day for me. That was 2 more hours that I could be productive. So you just need to think in your business, what are you doing over and over and over again? And what is taking up a ton of your time that can be automated? And chances are there's something out there that can help you. Sometimes paying for automation feels uncomfortable, and you might think that it is counterintuitive. Like, why am I working so hard to have a small business to make more money, but I'm spending money? But remember, guys, I know it's cliche, but time is money. And sometimes you need to spend money to be able to save yourself time so you can be more productive and you can be more creative and you can grow your business in a healthy way and have that healthy mindset for your business as well. Okay, so now we're going to talk about systems, and I'm sure you've heard of them if you've heard any like small business coaches and gurus talk about, and that's kind of all I thought it was. I was like, I don't really know what that is. And I'm doing fine without it until I actually started really looking into it and implementing it in my own business. I realized how much it actually is important. So let's get on into that. So if you don't know what a system is in your business, it's basically a set of repeatable steps that you use within your business. And the goal is not to make the list longer, it's to make it easier, less steps, less overwhelming. So a good metaphor to kind of understanding systems is it's like having a craft room with no labeled bins. So all of the tools and all the craft supplies are just scattered in different bins all around your craft room. And you have a craft idea in mind that you want to make, but you don't know where anything is. So you spend all your time searching and not creating. So a system is kind of like that. You know the steps you need to take, you know where everything is, everything's understandable, you know where everything is, everything has a home, everything has a place. So you kind of have to clear up your craft room, clear up your mind to be able to run smoothly, if that makes sense. So a good way to start is to sit down and write down a list of everything that you actually do in a work day. Not things that you should do, but things that you actually do. And then next to each thing, you need to kind of write how it makes you feel, like on your emotional state. So maybe use tally marks or something to explain like the emotional state you get from doing each thing. The things that drain you or give you anxiety or take too long, you need to write that down, and then you'll kind of know what needs to be worked on. So kind of how I was explaining earlier with the automation, that was a broken part of my system where I was spending 2 hours a day sending customers mock-ups back and forth and back and forth, and it was so draining, and I had about 50 plus messages a day. So I fixed that part of the system where I set up an auto reply that answered a bunch of questions, an FAQ that eliminated a lot of questions, as well as the mockup tool, which helped customers get their mockups quickly, fast, and they didn't have to wait on me. So that eliminated that part of my day, which gave me more time to be productive and to get real work done. So I know that, like I said, systems sound like a bunch of business lingo and all the things, but I promise you, if you sit down and you give it a try, you'll understand that there are broken parts of the system and they need to be fixed. And once they're fixed, it will make your life so much easier. So just give it a try. So now we're going to talk about setting yourself up for success every day. And I'm sure you've heard this one, but there is a thing called the breadcrumb theory. If you guys have not heard this, it is so great and it works so well, especially for people like me with ADD. My brain needs to stay focused, and it needs like little rewards, and it needs me to set my future self up for success. You're basically setting yourself up for success the next day by leaving small intentional setups for your future self that will make your future self's day easier. And you want to do that for yourself every single day. So this might look a little bit different for each person, but some examples might be cleaning up your workspace at the end of each day. So you can come back to work with a nice clean workspace, maybe with your tools laid out and ready. That's one thing. Maybe pre-cleaning your machines and getting them ready so you can just walk into work and get started. You could finish up emails, maybe get your files set up for the next day of things that you need to work on, or getting your orders designed for the next day so that you can just wake up and get to work. You could set up a little to-do list for yourself. It's basically just doing those things, those little breadcrumbs that will motivate you, and you'll know that how with whatever you do, you'll know what works for you, what motivates you, what inspires you. Some things that might work for daily life is like setting up a meal plan for the week so you don't have to think about food. Writing a to-do list, marking things on your calendar, just things that future you will be thankful that past you did. You're just helping yourself out, basically. Distractions, they completely derail your workday, you guys. One distraction can completely alter your day. And if you're like me, if I get thrown off by something, it completely messes my attention span up. I need to stay focused on things. And so distractions are one of the big things that do kill productivity. Things like messages and emails and social media can pull you out of your deep work for hours. It can mess you up for hours. And if distractions keep on winning, it's not your willpower. It's not a problem with your willpower. It is a design issue and it just needs to be fixed. So some examples of eliminating distractions, you could make your workspace in a specific location, like not in main living areas around, people. Maybe you don't work well around others. Maybe you need to have like a designated workspace that you don't do like leisurely relaxation things in. Maybe make it strictly your workspace. You could put your phone away during work and set it to do not disturb, only like important things. You could do that. Maybe watching videos distracts you during work, so just put on a podcast or some music. You have to find what distracts you and what pulls you away from work. And sometimes things can help you be more productive, and then certain things can pull you away. So you need to figure out like what does that for you. Another great thing is like having like a set office hours for yourself, so you're not constantly back and forth with messages while you're working or emails while you're working. Maybe have a couple of times a day that you have set for like office hours. So that's really helpful for us too, like when we're out in the shop and working. It's so easy to get distracted by the emails and the messages and the things that come in. So maybe set aside a couple of times a day for that. And something important to keep in mind is that every time that you switch tasks, your brain has to completely reload, and that takes time and effort away from what you're doing and decreases productivity. So try that out. Eliminating distractions. I know it's kind of like something that's probably a given and everybody knows that. They're like, duh, but it is something that does kill productivity. So it's important to know that that is something that might work for you. Just figure out when you're the most distracted and what to take away from yourself so that you can stay productive. Deadlines help me a lot. Setting those little tasks, challenges, is something that's very like motivating to me. And I do this in business life and personal life because it's just something that works well for my brain. I'll say things to myself like, I'm going to respond to messages for 20 minutes and see how many I can get done. Or my laptop battery is at 50%. I'm going to design orders until it dies. That is super productive for me. It does, I get a lot more of work done whenever I know that I have a time limit and a time constraint. It's probably the procrastinator in me. I'm trying to work on that as something I'm working on. Trying to be less of a procrastinator. But if you do that, you'd be surprised when you set timers for yourself how much you can get done. So give that a try. So at the end of each week, I like to look at our stats and look at everything and figure out what made money, what saved time, and what felt like a waste of energy. Don't get me wrong, trying new things is very important in a business, but there's a time and a place for that. And if you're trying to work on your productivity, you need to figure out what is working and double down on that. If a task doesn't make money, save time, or support the idea of future sales, then it might be time to cut that task. So definitely take time to do that. Look at your stats, figure out what's making money, what's not, what's wasting time, what's wasting energy, so that you can make more space for productivity. So something I started a couple years ago is something I call a stress list. So I have my phone, like a notepad in my phone, where I write down the things that are stressing me out for the month. And it could be something as simple and little as making a dentist appointment and as big as doing taxes. It's just the things that are stressing me out. It doesn't even have to be business related, but believe it or not, those little things that stress you out take up a lot of mental load and energy and stress in your mind that you're actually thinking about those things all the time throughout your day. At least I'm like that. So I like to do that and make a list on my phone. And every now and again, I'll just get the urge to just knock something out on that list. And it makes you feel so good to knock those things out. And it really increases at least my productivity. So I wanted to mention it to you guys. Try that out for a month and see how it makes you feel. Just this next month, make your stress list, write down those things that are stressing you out, the things that you want to get done for the month. And don't be stressed out if you don't get them all done. At least you're writing it down and you have like the mindset to get it done, because that's the first step, is just to start. And it really does help. It's crazy how much mental energy and mental load that stress can take up in your mind. So try making a stress list and let me know how it goes. At the end of the day, staying productive means staying in love with what you are doing. And it is important to love what you do. I think that if you are burnt out and you're stressed and you're going through a lot of things in your business, you can forget your why and why you started your business in the first place. And like I said, that's kind of something that I dealt with a little over a year ago, is extreme stress which caused burnout. And it made me think that I didn't want to do this anymore. And what in reality it all was I just needed better systems in place. I needed automation. I needed help. And so if you're going through that, or even if you're not yet, and maybe you're just trying to take notes of how to be more productive, you can do that. But just remember your why. Remember why you fell in love with what you're doing, and try to fix those broken systems if you need to fix them to be more productive. And you can get a lot done if you do that. And also take time for yourself. Don't work all the time. Try to set hours and take time to just spend time with family and do things you love and create for fun. I like to still do that too. Like sometimes make something for my house, or a t-shirt for myself, or just do something for myself, so I'm not always making for other people to sell to and things like that. Just do it for yourself. So productivity isn't about squeezing more out of yourself. It's about building a business that supports you. And don't feel like you have to try and fix all of these things at once. It takes a lot of time. I hope that this video helped you guys. If you resonated with any of it, or if you want to give any tips too, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what's worked for you and what's helped your productivity. It's just amazing what can happen if you take time to increase your productivity, because whereas before, the amount of orders that we do in a day completely stressed me out, and it took way longer than it was supposed to, and I just was so overwhelmed, to now it's just part of our daily stuff that we do. And it's because we set up those things in place that make it easier and better and more productive. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already. And there's gonna be more videos like this. I have a lot planned, so y'all stay tuned for more, and I will see y'all in the next one, which will be very soon. Bye guys.